Hi guys, and welcome to World Tanks Reviews. I'm Buddy1927, and today I'm on the test server 9.3 patch, and I'm actually going to be reviewing the Tier 5 KV-1S, and I'm actually going to be comparing it to the current Tier 6 KV-1S, so you can see the difference and see what they have changed on the tank other than dropping it down one tier. I will be going over the specs on this tank. I will also be going over all three of the guns on this tank, so you can actually compare it to the guns that you really want to use when the tank comes out. First of all, let's take a look at the way the tank comes. Okay, like I said, it does have three guns on it. It has two Tier 5s and a Tier 6, which we'll go over individually. It does come with Tier 5 turret, top radius, Tier 7 engine, and Tier 5 set of tracks, and does lead to the KV-85. Let's take a look at the tech tree. Of course, you should know how to get to it, but there's a different way to get to it now. You go down to the T26, to the 46, to the T21, then you gotta get the KV-1, and then you can go ahead and go up to the KV-1S. And then you can start going down the IS line all the way to the IS7. Or you can, they've actually changed the tech tree a little bit here. You from the KV-1, you can go to the T150, which takes you down the KV line to the IS4. Or you can go get the KV-2, which can lead you to the RD line, to the S51, and all the way to the Object 261. So they changed the tech line, the line on this tech tree a little bit differently, the way you get around. And also from the KV-85, you can go to the KV-13, up to the T43, to the T44, to the 54, to the T62, or to the Object 140. So they changed the tech tree a little bit on this, but it's actually pretty good. Now, back to the KV-1S. KV-1S, let's take a look at the specs. I'll blow them up for you so you can see them. And I will compare them to the current KV-1S, the Tier 6 version. Okay, on this, you have 660 hit points compared to 810 on the KV-1S Tier 6. Of course, you're dropping down one tier, so the hit points are actually going to change a little bit. Horsepower on this is still 600 horsepower as compared to the KV-1S, which is at 600 horsepower. Top speed is the same, 43 kilometers per hour. Traverse speed is the same at 30 degrees per second. Now, the hull on this is actually staying the same at 75, 60, and 60 for both tanks. Now, the turret has changed a bit in the armor. This is 82, 82, 82 compared to 190 and 90. But you also got to realize you're dropping down from Tier 6 to Tier 5. We'll go over the guns a little bit later. The traverse speed on the turret is 28 degrees per second, which is the same as the Tier 6. View range on this is 340, which is actually better than the KV-1S Tier 6, which is at 330. And the signal range is still the same at 440. So that's the specs. You can see the difference. Actually, the only two major three differences is the hit points that drop down because you are in a Tier 6. The turret armor is a little less, and you actually gain 10 meters on your view range. So that's pretty good right there. What else we got? Oh, yeah, let's take a look at the guns, and let's start off with the low tier gun, and I'll blow that up so you can see this a lot better. Gun they initially get with this gun is a 76 caliber gun. Rate of fire is 15 rounds per minute. Average pen is 86, 102, 38. Average damage is 110, 110, and 156. It's not very accurate at 0.46 at 100 meters. Aiming time on this is 2.3 seconds. And this gun carries AP, APCR, and HE rounds. Let's look at the... Oops. I'm sorry, guys. Hit the wrong button. Let's take a look at the 122 howitzer, which is the middle gun, which is also a Tier 5 gun. It's a 122 caliber gun. Rate of fire on this is 5.17 rounds per minute, compared to the 122 caliber that comes with the Tier 6, which has a rate of fire at 0.375. So you've increased the rate of fire on this gun compared to the Tier 6 gun. Average pin on this gun is 61 and 140 compared to 175, 217, and 61 on the KV-1 on the Tier 6 KV-1S. Average damage on this is 450 and 370, which the average damage on that was 390, 390, and 465. So damage has increased a little bit or decreased a little bit depending on what shell you use. But you gotta realize something. This is a Tier 5 tank, now Tier 6. Accuracy on this gun is 0.58 at 100 meters, which is not accurate at all. It's more like an arty gun than it is a heavy tank gun, compared to the 0.46 at 100 meters for the Tier 6. Aiming time on this is 2.9 seconds compared to 3.4 seconds on the Tier 6. And on this gun you carry two types of shell, which is HE and heat, compared to AP, APCR, and HE rounds. Now let's take a look at the top gun for this tank, which is the 85 caliber gun. Rate of fire is a lot faster at 12 rounds per minute. Average pin on this is 119, 159, 43. Average damage on this is 160, 160, and 280. And accuracy on this is a lot better than the 122 at 0.42 at 100 meters. Aiming time is a lot better at 2.5 seconds. And you carry AP, APCR, and heat. Now, let me do something real quick. I'm going to pull up both the 85 and the 122. Let's take a look at them together. And let me actually do something here real quick. I'm actually going to blow this up so you can see this a lot better. Okay, you can see that a lot better. Sorry guys, I should have done that earlier. Rate of fire on the 85 compared to the 122. 12 rounds per minute to 5.7, so you can shoot twice as many rounds as the 122. Average penetration on this is actually a lot better. The 85 has 119, 159, and 43 compared to the 61 and 140. Damage. Yeah, the 122 does more damage, does more apple damage, but compared to the rate of fire, DPM is actually better on the 85. Accuracy is a lot better on the 85 compared to the 122. Aiming time's about 0.4 rounds per second. And then you get your the ammos that you can choose. So those are the comparison of those two guns. Let me go ahead. I prefer the 85 and I also have a friend who's on the test server. He prefers the 122. It depends on your play style, but that's not bad. This tank ain't bad. Of course, I got fence ram, gun rammer, and enhanced gun lane drive. So this does still keep the same. You still have a crew of 5 on this tank. This tank isn't that bad overall in battle so far. It does about what it actually is halfway decent. I think this will make a good tier 5 tournament tank. So if you do currently have the KV-1S when the patch comes out, keep the KV-1S. Don't get rid of it. It will be a good tank. If you have a good member, the better the crew, the better the tank. So let's take a look at the clip of this tank in action. I will see you all on the other side. Hi guys, and welcome to World of Tanks Replays. I'm Buddy1927. Today I'm on the test server 9.3, and I'm in the KV-1S Tier 5 Russian heavy tank. Map we're on is Highway, and we're going to see what this tank can do. Everybody's, I guess, testing their guns. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of shooting, but I don't see any enemies spotted. Okay, we're going through. Okay, we're going through the city, and we're going to see what this tank can do. I'm doing about 42 kilometers an hour. So it's doing about the same speed that the KV-1S Tier 6 used to do. I'll go through this back way, see if I can sneak up on somebody. Shot him through the wall. He hit me, set me on fire, but automatic fire extinguisher put out the fire. Bounced. Hit him for 612. And somebody took him out before I can get my shot off. He's on the other side of the building. See if I can sneak up on these two. Well, that didn't work. Score is 10-6. Looks like we took the city. You got enemy on the RCAP. We got 4 tanks heading back to our cap, so I'm going to proceed to their cap. Got TD coming up. TD's destroyed, SPG's destroyed. Now it's just a matter of camping out. SPG taken out. And that was kill number 15. So that's the KV-1S on the test server. You know, it's going to play a little bit different since it did not get knocked down from tier 6 to tier 5. The gun is a little worse than what you used to in a tier 6, but you got to realize something. You're going from a tier 6 to tier 5, so yes, the gun's not going to be as good as it was in tier 6. But overall, the tank is basically the same except for the gun. Now, if you currently have a KV-1S crew in your tier 6 tank, and when it gets bumped down to the tier 5, if you have some good perks and all that already ground up into that crew, I think this tank would actually make a great tier 5 tournament tank. The better the crew, the better the tank performs. You just gotta get used to some little subtleties of the tank, and you should be able to do good. So that's the KV-1S on patch 9.3. So if you like this video, please like us on YouTube. If you have any comments, leave your comments down below on my YouTube page, and I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. And if you haven't done yet, subscribe to my channel. This way you know when the latest videos I do come out, and you can watch them a lot quicker. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video, and do me a favor, save some tanks on the battlefield for me. You all have a good day.